Hi everyone, so I'm Monica Galindo and I will be presenting today on our Module 4 assignment. Hope you guys enjoy. So the first thing we talked about in our, or that we need to talk about in our presentation is the contingency leadership theory. So this one is a theory proposed by Fred Fielder, which was created in 1951, and it proposes that a leader effectiveness hinges on how well his or her leadership style matches the current context and task. So basically, he's saying we need to find a dominant leadership style, whether it be task-oriented or people-oriented. And in order for this theory to be able to work, we need to know which leadership style we are, obviously. So with those leadership styles, there are situational favorableness, which basically refers to the degree to which a situation enables the leader to exert influence over the followers. So some of the variables are the leader-member relationship, so the type of relationship you have between leaders and followers, the task structure, and the position power. So once we weigh all of these three variables, there will create a connection for the leader's favorableness. So the situational favorableness is actually used in this theory, which states, the more control that the leader has over his followers, the better favorable situation that the leader will have. So when using this model, Fielder actually states that the leaders should never change their leadership style. So if you're either task oriented or people oriented, that you shouldn't change it, but you should rather change the context of the job. So some of you guys probably saw this in our book. So it's kind of like the model, once you get to the situation after, number 3. So for each one, let me go back. So for each one, it asks, from the followers or the leader-followers relationship, and then the structure of the task, and then the leadership's powers. So depending on what you answer for each, so you either have a good or poor relationship with your followers, or the task structure being repetitive or non-repetitive, and then if the leader has strong power or weak power, depending on what you answer to each. Once you get to the situation, if the situation is a number 1, so number 1 is actually the most highly favorable, and the 8 is the very least favorable. So if you were not to once you do it and you weren't to get your appropriate style for the situation, so if you get task oriented, then that means that and that's not what you are, so then you wouldn't match. And so Fielder would recommend you to train people or to change the situation. So for example, if you were to say, the relationship between the leader and the follower is poor, then you would have to strengthen it by doing things such as listening to your followers, or asking for feedback. Then we have the continuum theorem. So this one was created in 1950 by Robert Tannerbun and Warren Schmidt, and basically this model is based on who makes the decision. So it's used to determine which of the 7 styles you must select in order to meet the situation. So for this one, it's from autocratic all the way to participative. So autocratic being like, this is what I am saying and this is the way it goes and that's it. Or participative, where you let the employees actually make ongoing decisions. Then we have these are the variables for the continuum theorem, which are the boss variable, the subordinate variable, and the situation or time variable. So basically for the boss one, the boss says the boss will be based on experience, expectations, values, and confidence in the subordinates. So depending on the leader's behavior, the followers will be more autocratic or more participative. So how the leader reacts to them, that's the way it'll be. So for the subordinates, if followers participate in the task, then the leader gives them more freedom. So depends on how, again, the behavior of the boss. And then the situation, it depends on the organization size, structure, climate, goals, and technology. So whatever the leader, he's the one that gets to choose the style. So that's it with the continuum theorem. And then we have the path goal leadership theory. This one is a model this model, is used to select the leadership style. So there's 4 types. And to select the leadership style appropriate to the situation to maximize both performance and job satisfaction. So this was developed in 1971 by Robert House. And unlike other contingency models, this one doesn't have a leader trait or a behavioral variable. So this is in our book. As you guys can see, those were the situational factors. Depending on the factor, you would have to choose a type of leadership style. Obviously, the ultimate, to be successful, you have the goal achievement. So, the leaders are responsible for motivating the followers to attain those goals that are needed. So, and then, going back to the situational factors, we have the subordinates. So they have, like 3 types of things that they can be under it. So authoritarianism, locus of control, and ability. So, the ability is extent to perform the task, and the locus of control is how the employer or leader would, work. And then the environment, we have task structure, formal authority, and the group work. So the leadership styles, they're directive, supportive, and I have participative and achievement oriented. So directive basically means, it's direct order. The leader has authoritarianism, and the followers will do what the leader says. The supportive, the leader will be there to support them and what it is that they need. Participative, they all kind of work together to, gain that goal. And then the achievement oriented are those that work with, they're open to autocratic leadership. It can go either way in terms of the ability and the task, as well as the job satisfaction. So, achievement oriented, try and achieve a goal. So that was it for the goal one. And then we have the leadership substitute theory. So this includes characteristics of the subordinate, task, and organization that replace the need for a leader or neutralize the leader behavior. So this one basically does not have a leadership style. And so the following variables are, followers, tasks, and organization. So I will explain this one actually more by answering this one question about how my job, kind of implements with this theory. So this theory, in terms of followers, we're an admissions department. We're experienced, trained, and we don't really care for rewards because it's kind of like our job. So, we all have degrees. We all have been working for a while together. So us as followers match, this section. And in terms of tasks, clear with routine, essential satisfaction. So it's very methodological. So as a medical school, we do the same thing yearly. We just work with different students. So in terms of tasks, we also match that. And in terms of organization, we can't, very specific, not flexible, meaning that we cannot bend the rules or procedures, because in order for us to matriculate students, there's a certain procedure that we have to follow. So, and that comes from the state. So it's not like we can actually change or bend any rules. So yeah, we would actually fall under the leadership substitute theory of implementation. So these are kind of my references, and I hope you guys enjoyed my presentation, and I look forward to chatting with you guys on the